Day one here in Fort Dodge at the Iowa High School Softball State Tournament. KCCI is trying something new. We've taken our GoPro and we're going to mount it inside the dugout to get up close and personal with the player reactions. It's always a thrill for high school baseball players in the state of Iowa to get a chance to play at Principal Park here at the state tournament. Class 2A action resumed today. Welcome to Sports Zone. I'm Joel Schmidt. She's Ali Coletto.
We survived a very busy homecoming week here on campus.
So let's jump straight to the Rock Bowl for the big football game. After 3 straight road losses, the football team came home hoping to tame the Beavers of Buena Vista. Well, it's still the preseason, but the Fighting Saints seem to be in mid-season form. The 3-0 Saints hosting the 1-2 Rough Riders at Mystique. Rough Riders get on the board first. Eric Foley gets lucky, finds the puck right in front of the net, and he taps it in. Rough Riders are up 1-0. After a scoreless second period, Jacob Benson provides the spark for the Saints. He ties the game at 1 just a minute into the third period, but neither team finds the net the rest of the way, so we go to overtime. And that's where we find Shane Cavanaugh, who finds himself on a breakaway, and the puck finds the back of the net. Saints mount the comeback and take this one 2-1. To talk about the expectations and much more, Saints broadcaster Zach Fish joins me in the studio. Zach, thanks for coming.
Oh, it's my pleasure. A lot of great stuff going on with the Dewhawks. Appreciate you having me here to talk a little hockey.
Of course, of course. So Zach, you saw the Saints 6-1 preseason, but for what it sounds like on Saturday, they came out a little flat. What did you see?
Oh, it was a struggle in that game. They didn't really play well, not at all, particularly in that game, and they'll be the first ones to tell you that. They certainly struggled defensively, couldn't keep the puck out of the net. And really, it wasn't the goalie's fault in that situation. Bad defensive plays, just jitters. I think really the expectations got in their head. It's such an exceptional preseason for the team, and then they really just kind of weren't ready to go. And Cedar Rapids really came out and blitzed them. So they've learned. They got Waterloo this week, big rival on the road. If you can't get up for that game, it's certainly going to be tough. And then Saturday, the home opener in Dubuque, and certainly hope to see a great crowd out there for that one against Omaha, who is the top team in the preseason rankings.
Now, you're around these players a lot, and real quickly, are there any weird things that they do?
Oh, there's a little bit of everything. Goalies are a little bit odd, that's certainly sure. Our goaltender, Kevin Reich, is German. He's a little bit quirky. The goalies are always a little bit weird. They're superstitions. They put on their gear one way, always the same way. Brett Boeing, a forward for the team, he's from Illinois as well, always paints his stick black, thinks it gives him a bit of an advantage. So there's a few funny things that these guys do. And another big thing, shoe checks. If you haven't heard of it, food on your shoe without you knowing at the team dinner, well, you got to sing a song if they get you on that. So we've had some good American Idol contests for the guys in that aspect.
I bet. Well, thanks for joining us, Zach. We look forward to another season of Saints hockey. The home opener is this Saturday. And if you can't get out there, tune in to LCTV News next week for highlights. Dewhawks past versus Dewhawks present. That was the lineup across campus in the annual homecoming alumni games. Friday night, it was the volleyball team taking to the court, showing off their skills. Alumni trying to show they still have it after all of these years, or maybe not. Let's move to the diamond, where the current Dewhawks showed off their dancing skills. Don't know quite how that applies to softball, but former Dewhawks showed that they still can swing with the best of them. Maybe not. Nonetheless, Dewhawks gathered to show that they still love the crack of the bat and memories of past years. Jumping back to the AWC, 2 alumni basketball teams laced up the sneakers and went head-to-head. Watch out, she's on the fast break. Can she get the layup? First one can't fall. What about the second one? Well, maybe a third time's a charm? Oh, there's always next year. In the end, it's all fun and games. Moving to the wrestling room, James Buss, now with his champion ring, and other current Dewhawk wrestlers face former Dewhawk greats. And I tell you what, the motto, once a wrestler, always a wrestler, still stands true. And finally, let's go to San Jose Pool. Bragging rights were on the line as the swimmers from yesteryears face the current Dewhawk swimmers. I think some of those alumni could still suit up and swim in the Iowa Conference. What a way to celebrate homecoming. Senior Kyle Wagner's cross-country career took an unexpected turn when he was diagnosed with Lyme disease. The Laura student sat down with Sports Zone to talk about his journey.
I was mushroom hunting in Minnesota, and that's how I originally got it. I got bit by some ticks. Thought I had them all, got them all off me, but I guess I didn't. One day I remember I just woke up and I couldn't move my arm, my arms from my shoulder on down, and I had to go to class and give a speech. So I was like I went to class, gave the speech, and I was just in so much pain. And when I came back from class and I asked my roommate, like, can you take me to the hospital? And he's like, what for? I was like, I can't move my arms. I don't think I should drive. It sucks. It really does. Last 2 years, I've been varsity for the cross-country team here at Loras. I was running the fastest I ever was. Ran my fastest race in track, and a week later, I just woke up and couldn't move my arms. So it's really, really hard not being able to be as fast as I was, or being able to do what I could do before. you know, some days it's like I just want to quit a workout, but like my mind, but I can't. And I figured senior year, I got one more go at it. I'm going to give it everything I got because I've had this gift, and I'm not going to waste it. Even if it's not as fast as I used to be, I can still help the team in other ways than just being fast. So I wouldn't quit. I can't quit. I wouldn't do that to my guys. So.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Rock Bowl on the campus of Loras College. It's homecoming today here. I'm Kyle Jacobs. Alongside me today is Joel Schmidt, and we have a great atmosphere here on campus today.
It's electric. You can tell it's homecoming. The students have been ready all week for this game. The alumni are back. They're having fun tailgating, and now they get to watch the Loras College Duhawks face on the Buena Vista Beavers.
Let's dive into the matchup here a little bit, Joel. What are some issues here for both teams? Loras is 1-3, 0-1 in conference. Buena Vista is 2-2 and 1-0 in conference. So what should we look for from both of these teams today? Well,
for Loras, I think it all starts with their rushing attack. They're only averaging 64 yards on the ground and haven't had a rushing touchdown, get this, since the Elmhurst, the first game of the season in which they had 4. So I think a rushing attack will help this offense succeed. And for Buena Vista, it all starts with their 4-year starter at QB, Bobby Brown.
And Joel, we mentioned that there is a rivalry between these two schools, but it is especially true for these two teams right now that are about to take the pitch.
Especially true, Kyle. Without a doubt, Coach Rother mentioned in our meeting with him yesterday that he's treating this game like a postseason game. Both teams are ranked in the top 15 in the nation. Loras number 8, Wartburg at 13th, and they're the top 2 teams in this region. Loras number 1, Wartburg number 2. Obviously, this has all the makings of a big postseason game, and we have it in the regular season. They're two teams that have hopes of winning the conference and possibly, who knows, winning the national championship. They both got to get the NCAA tournament, and winning the conference championship would be a good way to start. Well, speaking of ending, our producer's telling us that we're out of time.
LCTV News is back next week, same time, same place.
In the meantime, visit myduhawk.com or follow us on Twitter at LCTV_sports.
Join us in 2 weeks for more of the latest and greatest in Duhawk athletics.
Thanks for joining us, and have a great night.